I'll start on the offense.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen of the day, available daily and free wherever you get your podcasts. You know what we're talking about today. Unfortunately, I know what we're talking about today too. Full game review, good, bad, ugly, and we'll take a look at what we learned from the game and the post-game press conference, which I usually don't do, but there's something I want to talk about, so we're going to get into it. Happy Monday, I guess. As happy as it can be, I guess. I am Brandon Olson. You can find me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. I'm also the founder of Whole9Sports.com, where you can find all of my written work. Now we're going to take a look at the offense, and yikes. Here we are. I'm going to lead with this, because I think it's one of the things that's going to piss people off more than anything else that I'm going to say today. Emory Jones is the right QB1 for this team. I want to make that clear. That's my opinion of it. That's where I'm at. Sure, we lost the game. Sure, he's had his struggles. But Emory Jones is still the right QB1 for this Florida Gators team. If Anthony Richardson gets the nod eventually, cool. So be like, I'm going to support whoever our QB1 is. I think Emory Jones is the right QB1. Like AR is good. He's good. He's immensely talented. But if you want proof that I think, or not even proof that I think, here's the proof that I think it. If you want proof of why I feel Emory is the better starting quarterback right now, look at when Kentucky went offsides when Anthony Richardson was playing quarterback. What did he do? He made two mistakes here. One, he didn't take a deep shot, which when the defense comes offside, you just take a deep shot, because worst case, your team still gets the ball gaining 5 yards. Best case, tutty. So that's the big thing that he did. That's the first thing he did wrong. The second thing he did wrong, he threw to the hitch and underthrew it by 5 yards. I mean, I realize that that's a very small sample size. Like, we've only ever seen a small sample size of AR. That's the big issue of, well, look at the throws he makes. Look at the throws he makes. He does things like that too. So that's where I think Emory's the QB1 for the job. I think he's the right guy. But now, just getting into the offense as a whole, yikes. That's how I'm going to say it there. Yikes. The offense was boring, simple, and disgustingly bad. Like the Gators like to mix up their carries. That's something that, I'm cool with that, because I think we have a very talented running back room. We have two quarterbacks that are very capable runners. They're both, I don't know with the updated numbers from yesterday, but going into the game, they were both top 5 in quarterback rushing yards, which is especially impressive considering Anthony Richardson played 2 games. So that's where we're at with that. I get giving the ball to other people. I'm a fan of that. Dameon Pierce, Malik Davis, Naquan Wright, Emory Jones, Anthony Richardson. Hell, hand it off to anyone else you want to. You want to give the ball to Kamori Gamble in the run game, I will support it. Lorenzo Lingard, Marcus Bowman, I am here for it. But you got to run the ball more with people that aren't just Emory Jones. Like Dameon Pierce was finding success last night on the ground. He was creating runs. That's something that I spoke about last week when I broke down the Florida numbers on Pro Football Focus. Statistically, the Gators don't have a very good run-blocking offensive line right now. But it's schemed up where our running backs are creating yards after contact. They're finding the lane where they can get anything, really. And Dameon Pierce specifically has been murdering defenses with that. So that's why it's like, just give him the ball. He needs to have the ball more than 8 times in a game, especially if your quarterback's running it like 15. Give Dameon Pierce the ball. He's a tremendously talented running back. He's going to be playing on Sundays. I know that. I can tell you that just by watching him. He's someone who's going to play on Sunday. He might not get drafted, but he's playing on Sundays. That's a fact. And one pass attempt farther or 20 or more yards downfield is, what is that? Like, what is going on there? That's why my biggest issues are not with, Not with Emory's pick, although it was a very bad pick. Not with Emory's pick. It's not with Anthony Richardson underthrowing the curl and not taking a deep shot. It's not with most things, but play calling. Coaching is what lost us this game. That's what lost this game. Execution, false starts, not even. But that still comes down to coaching. You need to have disciplined players. And I'm going to get into the false starts thing, but now we're looking at the defense. The defense played well for the most part, but snake bitten by the same things as always. A big play for the other team's first score. That's always how it happens. That's just what happens to Florida, and it's got to stop. Like, we cannot be the team that plays good football for 3 quarters or 3.5 quarters and wants to win games. Kentucky, they outperformed my expectations. I have no problem saying that, but I still don't think they're a great football team. They're going to be ranked after this week because they beat a number 10 team, and they deserve to be ranked because they beat a number 10 team. But I think that I know we're still the better team, but they played a better game, and we played a terrible game. Like, that's what it comes down to. And it's these big plays, always the big plays. Look at things like the Wan'Dale Robinson touchdown, the Josh Pascal blocked field goal. Like, it's just big plays. I'm not faulting the defense for that, obviously, but it's just big plays always, and that is continually what kills us. Fantastic defense, except for when you give up a huge play. We don't play bend, don't break defense. We play just damn good defense, and then we break completely. And that's what happens. And it's like that's not sustainable to have a good season. This is a game that we should have won, and we should have won by a lot if we're being honest. But we almost dropped the next split of there. We dropped the ball here big time. The Gators missed so many tackles early on. Look at the Wan'Dale Robinson screen that he took. I'm frustrated. Sorry. There were like 4 missed tackles on that one play alone. And it's like, bro, like, you got to clean it up. You've got to clean it up if you want to be competitive at all. Avery Helm, Jason Marshall, great day in coverage. Good for you guys. I don't like how either of them really defended wide receiver screens. Just being late to just shoot and go at them. Javon Dexter, he needs to play more. It's as simple as that. He needs more snaps. He deserves them. Tyron Hopper needs to play more. Deserves more snaps. I don't care who you're taking him away from, honestly, at this point, because Javon Dexter, you're probably going to take him away from Daquan Newkirk. Cool with me. Like, it sucks because Newkirk's pretty good, but cool with me. If it has to be, it has to be. Tyron Hopper, Diabate, take him out for a bit. Bernie, take him out for a bit. Play more Tyron Hopper and Jeremiah Moon, because this team desperately needs to find some kind of answers, because what's working isn't working. Like what they're doing is not going to be successful for the remainder of the season. And this isn't a year where we're going to just punt on the year. That's not something that we're doing. I see fans that are trying to say things like that. We're not just punting on the year here. No. We are going to try to win. Getting a New Year's Six Bowl, that's still a good thing. We're not making the playoff, most likely. That's that. But a New Year's Six Bowl is still a New Year's Six Bowl. It's still something to be proud of and hang your hat on. Simple as that. All right, college football fanatics, have you heard about Prize Picks? Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. I love it, and I know you will too. Prize Picks offers every sport you can think of: NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, MLB, soccer, MMA, and more. Prize Picks offers more college props than anyone else, and it's already incredibly difficult to find any college props with Prize Picks. Power 5 teams, mid-majors, everywhere. We go through it all. Prize Picks allows mixed sport entries, so take the over on LeBron turnovers and the under on Mahomes turnovers. I don't know, dude. I'm running out of stats. In the same entry. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com or go to your app store and download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. And I know that I've spoken quite a bit about recently moving in with my girlfriend. One thing that we did not prepare for was cooking as much as we have been, because I don't know, dude. I thought we'd be ordering more. That's how I pictured it. But no, we cook a lot now. So if quality and craftsmanship is important to you, check out Made In. Made In is a cookware and kitchenware brand that works with renowned chefs and artisans to produce some of the world's best pots, pans, knives, and wine glasses, specifically knives. You could take them through the paper thing, and it's awesome. They have 28,000 plus 5-star reviews, and their products are used by some of the world's best chefs at Michelin-starred restaurants around the world. Right now, Maiden is offering our listeners 15% off your first order with Locked On. This is the best discount available anywhere online for Maiden products. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. And now the good, bad, and ugly is here. The good, not much. The good, Damian Pierce. It's hard to find a good. This is a bad game. It was easily one of the worst games that I've seen from a Florida Gators team in years, given our expectations. The McElwain years sucked, but we expected to suck with him. We were expecting to be a very good team. This was a very bad game. The good Damian Pierce, he did what he does. He makes plays, he extends plays, he creates plays. He's more elusive than he gets credit for. He's more powerful than he gets credit for. He is a very talented running back. And like I said last segment, like I'll bet any amount of money Damian Pierce going to be playing on Sundays. And I don't mean like 1-2 carries. I mean, he's going to be a consistent contributor with the team somewhere along the line. He's just chef's kiss. The other good that I have, because I try to do 2 for each. The other good, I mentioned it, but the youth on this team: Jason Marshall, Avery Helm, Javon Dexter, Tyron Hopper, Trevez Johnson. The 5 of them, there are, like, Trevez Johnson was a starter coming into the year. He's still a starter. That's fantastic. But there are players that I've been hard on, Avery Helm specifically, that have really balled out over the past few weeks. Javon Dexter is just a one-man wrecking crew in the majority of his snaps. He just comes in and wrecks, and leaves. And things like that, where it's like, this team, like, notice how 5 of those names, all 5 of them, defensive players. That's fantastic. Because next year, the year after that, next year, we'll have all of them back. The year after that, I don't know if we'll have all of them back, but we'll have some of them back. And we know that we'll have some of them back because some of them won't be draft eligible. So we could lose Dexter, Hopper, Trevez Johnson. That sucks, but we're Florida. We reload, we rebuild, or not even rebuild. We reload. That's it. We might be rebuilding though if things keep going this way, like they did last night. Looking at the bad from Saturday's game, please, for the love of God, please, just wrap someone up when you have to tackle them. I don't think I'm asking for much. Just wrap them up. Like that's all I need. Just that's what I'm asking you for here. Just wrap someone up if you're tackling someone. You play defense. You should know what to do. It's not that difficult. But Florida, you hurt my heart sometimes. What else was bad? I didn't know whether I should include this in the bad or the ugly. And I'm going to get into it. I got into it last segment. I'm going to get into it now. I'm going to get into it next segment too. Play calling. Dear Lord, was the play calling bad and ugly. That's why I didn't know it wasn't good. It was bad and ugly. So that's why I didn't know where to put it. But it was atrocious. Like it was genuinely one of the worst called games I've seen from any Florida coach and any good coach. One of the worst called games I've ever seen. And it's just like, when it comes down to, I tweeted it out yesterday. I'll say it again for you now. Dan Mullen, scared money don't make no money. Like you've got to do something. Like you've got to just take some shots downfield, something. One pass attempt that traveled further than 20 yards in the air, or further than 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. Like, is that a prank? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish with that? Like, that's why it's like, and I don't like to be the whiny guy, but like this is something that's going to piss me off. Like bad play calling and not trusting your players. If you can't trust your players, they shouldn't be a starter. I'll get into it next segment. Looking at the ugly now. false starts galore and penalties galore. And I saw me throw my challenge flag. I don't have a yellow flag, but I do have a challenge flag, so that's why I threw the challenge flag. But yeah, I don't have a yellow flag to throw, but that's where we're at. And look, it's one of those things where it's like I understand that it's hard to hear in a stadium like that. Like yesterday's crowd was raucous. Like it's hard to hear. I get that. But Eguacan had so many penalties before there was any change. That's my issue. And I mean that the false starts and all that stuff, like it's just you had to either change the cadence or change the center. That's where I'm at. It's like I know in my lockdown now that came out Saturday night, I was like, hey, like get a center that can hear then. That's kind of still my point. Change the center to someone that can hear or change the cadence. Eventually, the cadence was changed to tapping Eguacan on the hip and then he'd snap the ball. And then we started getting penalties for tapping him on the hip. And before you even put your hand back down, the ball's getting snapped and you're moving, which is like that's on the guard. I don't care. Like, because you've got to tap and then put your hand back because you've got to be set for a second before the snap. And that didn't happen. So that's where we're at with that. It was just so ugly throughout. It was one of the worst, most horrid games that I've seen. And it was just wildly disappointing throughout. And I'm not trying to kill Eguacan over this. I'm not saying it's all his fault. I am still blaming the coaches for not making an adjustment when they were like, okay, look, like it's just not your night, Kingsley. Simple as that's all I care about. Just make an adjustment. If the player's having a bad day, he can't hear the clap, so he's false starting, he's not snapping, he's snapping too early, whatever it is, that's his fault, but not directly his fault. Like if he can't hear, he can't control that. Obviously, I would know I have terrible hearing. But like then it's on the coaching staff. Put in a center that has better hearing, is going to hear the cadence. Make the change to the cadence earlier. Do this step, do the hand snap down thing, do something. But to just not make an adjustment for the huge majority is killer. It is awful. And this part, I don't really, it's still an ugly. I don't really have a specific name for it or a specific like lead in for it. So I'm just going to go with it. But it is ugly to me that Will Levis, the starting quarterback for Kentucky, is ugly. No, that he had a 41-yard screen touchdown to Wan'Dale Robinson on that second drive. He also had 15 yards on that drive passing. He threw the ball for a completion of 15 yards, and then later in that drive, he had the 41-yard touchdown screen. What really frustrates me is that Florida lost to the guy, Will Levis, who after that screen had 31 passing yards for the final 3.5 quarters of this football game. That's like that is honestly like that's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like, because it's not like Kentucky was killing us on the ground either. We literally just couldn't get anything going offensively. We gave up a couple of big plays, and that's what killed us. So to me, it's disgusting that we lost to a team that was just so inept, I guess, at throwing the ball and so incapable of getting a passing game going, and they still beat us down. Like that's what it is. Like I get that it was a close game, but it felt like a much further game. I don't know about you guys, but football season's here, and now I'm constantly reminded of the insane physique these guys are in. And I mean, the athletic ability I can't do anything about, but the physique I can. So now I'm committing to eating Built Bar as my snack instead of other sugar-filled snacks. I was like, sugary snacks, I like it. Built Bar is the best protein bar on the market if you're trying to eat clean, but you've got a sweet tooth like I absolutely do. It's cool. It is what it is. That is no longer a problem. Built Bar is your low-calorie, low sugar, high protein, and high fiber solution. You can even enjoy it if you're keto. Remember to use promo code LOCKED15. That is LOCKED15 to get 15% off of your next order. That is locked, LOCKED15 to get 15% off of your next order at BuiltBar.com. Now to wrap up today's show, we're doing kind of the same thing as always, but kind of different, because usually Fridays I tell you things that I'm going to be keeping an eye out on, and then Mondays we go, oh well, did they happen? I didn't do that Friday. So now we've got a different thing of just what we learned from the game and what we learned from the post-game press conference. This team is not ready to be as good as they can be. That's the biggest takeaway from me. This team is not ready to be as good as they can be. Way too many mental lapses. And again, it comes down to coaching. A lot of it comes down to coaching. The false starts, you've got to get on that earlier. 3 false starts from one player, and then you go, okay, now we need to make a change. You guys waited till there was like 5. That's unacceptable, not cool, not how we win games. That's like, I get genuinely, I'm getting pissed about. But the coaching sucking last night is what pisses me off a lot, because you have to coach with confidence in your team as well. I've mentioned the play calling before, and it's like we're at the point where you've got Emory Jones. I realize it's his first year starting, but he's been in the system for 3 years. So you're at the point where you either have to trust your redshirt junior quarterback to throw a damn football, or you've got to commit to the option, because you are pathetic right now with what you're doing. It is atrociously bad. So that's where I'm at. It's legitimately, you've got a redshirt junior quarterback. Throw the damn ball with him or run the option, because you can run the ball. We know we can run the ball. But I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell they were thinking last night, but it was atrocious. And also, another big takeaway for me is that Dan Mullen needs to accept responsibility. I didn't mention it in the first segment. I didn't mention it in the second segment. I will mention it now. He needs to accept responsibility. He says he wasn't out-coached because we had more yards than Kentucky. Oh, crap. Wait, I'm sorry. That's right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot yards determine the outcome of a game, not points. That's how that works. Yeah, my bad. Good job, Dan. You got it. No, I have no more qualms with you. You did your job. You got more yards than the other team. That is the dumbest answer I've ever heard for anything ever. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer, gambling. What do you want for dinner? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Without a doubt, by a huge margin. That is the stupidest thing you could have ever said. To say, oh no, I wasn't outcoached. We outgained them. They outscored you. So then they did more with less. You were outcoached. It's as simple as that. And I realized that I'm really going in on Dan Mullen today. But I realized after last Saturday's game, or this past Saturday's game, people are, trying to French Revolution. I'm like, they're coming for his head, which is not justified, but not justified. Look, I get it. People are upset. They want change. They want to win. We're tired of being the second, third, fourth best team in the SEC, whatever it is, whatever team you think we are, you're tired of being it if it's not number one. That's the point. Dan Mullen, if he gets fired, I'm going to be pissed, because Dan Mullen is still the best option at head coach for the Florida Gators. It's as simple as that. Until he's not, I don't want to hear it. Until he's not the best option, I don't want to hear about replacing him, firing him, whatever it may be. You could look at, like, what are you going to look at? Group of five head coaches? That's what we're looking at? No. Because that's the thing also. We took Dan Mullen from another SEC school that he was thriving at, and we took him from there. Last group of 5 coach we took was Jim McElwain. You wanna do that? You're comfortable taking another group of 5 coach after that? And I'm not trying to group them all together, but my point is, it's different up here. Up here in the sense of in the SEC, where the rest of the college football is like right over here. But it's different in the SEC than it is at a G5 school. I know I went to a G5 school. It's different. Trust me. But like, Dan Mullen is still the best coach. You may not like him. You may not like how he's handling some things. I love him, but I do not like how he's handling some things right now. But there is not a single better realistic head coach option out there for the Gators. So just stop. It's as simple as that. Like, we're not taking Nick Saban. That ain't happening. I don't want Jimbo Fisher. I saw someone make that suggestion. You're out of your damn mind if you think Jimbo Fisher should be a Florida Gator, and you're out of your damn mind if you think he's going to be good if he's a Florida Gators head coach. He's not. He comes here, he finds success for a couple of years, and he comes to schools, finds success for a couple of years, and then blows it up. That's what he does. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. I'd rather take Dan Mullen, have him try his best for a few years. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and we move on, and then we find someone else that we can probably snake from hopefully another SEC school. But Lincoln Riley ain't coming to Gainesville. Simple as that. Lincoln Riley is staying in Norman until he goes to the NFL. It's as simple as that. It's things like that where it's like, there's not a better head coach option. If you think there are, you're out of your mind, and share whatever you're using, because them thoughts. I'm just saying. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen every day. Tomorrow's Tape Tuesday, and I can tell you it's going to be a good one, but it ain't going to be a fun one. I can tell you that much. Now make your second listen Locked On SEC. Get all of your daily SEC news in less than 30 minutes with SEC expert Chris Gordy. It's free and available on all platforms. Once again, I am Brandon Olson. You can find me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. You can also find all my written work with Whole Nine Sports. That is WHOLENINE Sports. And thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.